Alright, what's up everyone? Today I'm going to be playing in the Feeder League. Yeah, this is in the middle of the night, but this is when I found time to play, and I thought, why not do it on the channel? So I'm trying to go 4-0 and to get myself a nice limited token so I can play a 64 player during the next week. So yeah, 4-0, pretty tall order, so definitely not going to take anything for granted here. Looks like we're straight into the first pack. And yeah, this pack is definitely not amazing. What are we even looking at here? We have some fine lands, and then we basically have Guide of Souls and Bone Crusher Giant. I'm not really amazed about this. First picking Guide of Souls just sounds incredibly bad, but I think it's correct. This pack must be one of the worst I've seen. I can see somebody having a preference for, I don't know, one of these types, these color combos on here, but wow, what a terrible first pack. Let's take Guide of Souls and hope for something better. We sure got something better here. This pack has Ragavan and Gut and the One Ring. I wonder which is best. So the thing about One Ring is that card is 100% to make my deck. I will say something like Gut is maybe like 90%, because it's splashable, where Ragavan, you kind of need to be main red. So I'm definitely not going to take Ragavan. I even think there's a case that Gut is on the same power level, even pick one. But I guess I just take the One Ring here. Kind of sad about this pack having 3 better cards than my opener, but I mean, a One Ring and a Guide of Souls, that's probably a fine start. Now what? Polluted Delta is the best card in this booster, but it doesn't really go with Guide of Souls unless I go into something like Black-White. What does go with Guide of Souls? I mean, I guess I shouldn't really take it into account here. I should probably just take the Delta and, you know, see what's coming here. Xander's Lounge, that's just worse than Polluted Delta, but definitely worth mentioning. No Premier White card. Let's say there was like I don't know, Path to Exile, Luminar Aspirant, parts like that. I could think about following up the guide here. All right, pretty mediocre start here, but let's see if we can find an open lane and get to a good deck, despite not having the powerful start. Okay, yeah, I love these tournaments. It's the best kind of Magic. If you win, you get to play on. If you lose, you're out. So, brutal structure all around. Wow, this pack is very, very interesting. So the best card here for me is probably Snuff Out, maybe followed by Fiery Confluence. And now it just might come to fruition what I talked about previously with the Delta hooking up with Scrubland and making for some nice Black-White fixing. I like Black-White. It's a bit sad to pass the Snuff Out, but I actually think I want to do that. Get some mileage out of my fetch land, get to play my guide. Okay, I'll try with the Scrubland here. Let's see if we get rewarded and or punished. So Daze is awesome. I think taking the Beza here is a bit loose. Don't think I should do that. Maybe Daze is just far and away the best card, and that's what I should be picking. You never really know what's where this is going. Yeah, let's pick the Daze. I think that's reasonable. Still no, you know, Premier White card. Teferi is a card that you want to cast in your Guide of Souls Daze deck, potentially as a curve topper. So maybe that's fine. Funnily enough, Delta, fetching Basic Island, and Scrubland makes it a blue-white duel right now. If I'm not picking Teferi, what am I picking out of this pack? Probably something like Headquarters and try and speculate, but I think this is fine. What do we have? Yeah, this is kind of weird. Now I think it's time to see if I can read the draft a little bit. Courtyard goes into the Black-White, but I'm not really heading there, to be honest. Maybe it's just Sewers and I'm setting up a nice black splash. Oh. Yeah, let's take the Sewers and try and be in the kind of Esper realm of things. I mean, we can always tread water here with Otawara. Unclear. I mean, we can take a look at what's the best card in this pack. That's like Teiga, Jite's playable. Otawara and Jite are pretty close here. Could take Jite. It's like a little bit of artifact synergies potentially down the road. So right now, I'm not even sure I am an aggro deck. So let's just see where this takes us. Basically, Mere Battlesphere. When will I ever play that card? If I get like Shop, Tinker, that's more or less it. But the other cards I'm just not gonna play. Period. Okay. Here's Balance. Is Balance the sign I wanted? Where's Tide Hollow Sculler? I could be like black, white, splash, Teferi. That's not crazy. I build a good balance deck. Maybe I should try that. It does make GT kind of bad and Guide kind of bad. I'm gonna take the Sculler here, but I don't like that. I don't love that decision. Okay, so Karn. But I think it's just Tundra. Tundra is just premier with what I have going on here. I might even be able to splash the Daze. Here's Cleek. And we might be back in blue-white. I mean, who knows at this point. Let's pick Retrofitter. Retrofitter is a card that would have been decent with the balance. There's a big chance I didn't navigate this very well. I mean, I love my mana base, but I don't love my cards. And I haven't seen any, you know, premier cards pass by that I wish I had. So maybe this draft is just tough in general. Wow, 15th pick land is pretty sweet and a great pack here. Unfortunately, we can only take one of the cards. So let's see here. Right now, I'm looking like, I think blue-white control, but it's kind of tough to say. If this is blue-white control, what's up with this pack? I mean, maybe it's just Thoughtseize. And then I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Thoughtseize or Demonic Tutor? Question is if Demonic Tutor is going to do anything broken. Demonic Tutor is better off the splash. So I guess when in doubt, I may use that as tiebreaker. Take Demonic Tutor over Thoughtseize and Confluence. Incredibly tough pack. So realistically, this Guide of Souls is not in here. I don't know about the GT. The artifact, like yeah. Pretty messy here. I don't know where I got lost. Let's see if we can learn anything else here. Okay, so Tamiyo, Fractured, Hull Breacher, awesome cards all around. I think I'm gonna go Tamiyo here. That card has really impressed me. It's so good. 1 mana Planeswalker that, you know, well, 1 mana, that thing that flips into a Planeswalker. This pack is also good. Counterspell, Miscalculation, Baleful Strix, Currency Converter. So 4 good cards. I'm definitely not going to go for the Strix. I think that's my off-chance wheel. I guess I just take Counterspell. Looks like I'm pretty heavy on blue. Well, yeah, I mean, Battlesphere is probably only making the deck if I get Tinker specifically. I will have to worry about a little bit about the One Ring in my control deck. So I will need some proactive elements. Demonic Tutor, Teferi. I mean, so right now I'm basically mono blue with a couple of splashes. That'll work. Great pack. I'm gonna snag Urza here over Hallowed Fountain. Urza seems great with, you know, Retrofitter here, GT, Metamorph, One Ring. Urza can even ramp out Mere Battlesphere in a pinch. Yeah, very happy with Urza here after picking up a few artifacts at random. Even Tamiyo's so good with Urza, making those clue tokens. If you don't have time to sacrifice them, all of a sudden they're Mox Sapphires. So I could be heading in. Look, what kind of artifact synergies do I have right now? Just Urza, right? I think I passed the Karn, but I also might misremember. So I'm looking for stuff like, you know, Urza Saga Academy, that kind of stuff. Let's see if it's possible. Not the best pack here. I could always take a Consider. Consider helps, you know, flipping Tameo. Considers decent selection. Maybe I get a dig through time later. It's not bad. Yes, I just take Consider. That's, you know, never going to be an exciting card, but it's decent. Pretty lucky with all the good mana I picked up early. Here's Kappa Cannoneer. I feel like I should take that card because that's kind of a card like, you know, Urza, Karn, Kappa Cannoneer. Like, that kind of stuff is what you want, and then you can kind of pick cheap artifacts. I don't know about the Mirror Battlesphere yet, but let's see. What about this one? So I did not take the Balance. Balance would have been awesome here. The Raven Inspector makes a clue, which is not bad for artifacts. I guess I'd take that over Seachrome. Right now, that would put me in actual blue-white and splash the Demonic Tutor. Totally fine. Here's Mox Opal. Yeah, I feel like I should take that card and work for it. That could be pretty nice. If I'm not taking that, I should take Staff. Staff is good with what? Retrofitter, Urza. That's actually not a bad shout. Am I able to turn on the Opal when it's all said and done? That's actually the question here. Okay, I'm going to try for the Opal here. Wow, Wheeling Mystic Confluence. There's also Barogoyf, but I feel like Mystic Confluence is just straight up better. Very, very nice wheel. So I'm a bit nervous about my artifact count. So I could have had a Staff of the Storyteller, which is always going to be a fine card in a deck like this. But I'm trying to shoot for the stars here and get there on the Opal. If I make Opal better, I make, you know, Urza better, I make Kappa Cannoneer better, etc. Wow, Wheeling Fractured Identity. Like, this pack is just absurd. You even have 6 totally playable cards here. I think for my deck, I have to take Grim Monolith. It casts Battlesphere and Kappa Cannoneer, but I mean, I would love to play Fractured as well. Actually pretty absurd. I had a better card than Fractured, and here's a miscalculation on the wheel even. Okay, so it looks like wow. Hallowed Fountain versus Lantern. This is so funny. I think there is a decent argument for Lantern here because of where this draft is heading. So let's take that card. Let's take Batter Skull for the sideboard. No More Lies, sure. Okay, so blue-white is really getting there. I'm going to put the cheap artifacts here because I do need a lot of them for Opal to even work. I also think we can say now that if Academy is appearing in this third pack, we're going to get it. So I like our position when it comes to that. Wow, Ursa Saga, more or less. Nah, I'm not going to say the perfect card, not pick one, but very, very good card. I even think we're wheeling the Shorikai. This is actually where I'm cutting like some of the mediocre stuff, like Click and Consider, and looking for, you know, strictly artifact synergy stuff. Now I even have 3 targets to go get with Saga. It's making huge tokens. Awesome pickup. Let's see if we can continue down that path. So now we're back down to Earth. You can argue that Porcelain Legionnaire is a decent card. It's an artifact. You can argue, let's count black sources for DT 1, 2, 3, a half, 4, and a half. So I don't think I should draft a black source. I guess I'm just drafting an artifact here. Just might not make the deck, but let's see. I'm really working on the Opal to be acceleration for turns, you know, 3, 4 type scenario. Here's Tinker. Okay, well, very, very nice. It seems like days ago that I drafted this Mirror Battlesphere with the Tinker in mind, but super happy with that one. Would have liked Mishra's Bauble as well, but Tinker is obviously great. Let's see, what do we have here? I actually like Portable Hole quite a bit. I like Talisman because I care about artifact count. Maybe I care about ramping enough, you know, ramping into Urza, One Ring. It's better with Tinker. Yeah, maybe the ramp is going to be better than the removal here. What am I taking it over? I mean, the Portable Hole and the Fabled Passage, I guess. That's decent. Okay, can we continue here? I think maybe just Chromatic Star. Nothing exciting. It's fine. If it was a bit earlier, I could think about Sword of the Meek and put that together, but I think this one-drop artifact is just going to be solid in the deck. Then what do we have here? Funnily enough, Blade Splicer creates an artifact. It's always worth thinking about. The 3/3 that comes out of the Blade Splicer is an artifact. I'm taking it over nothing, so might as well. Let's have a look at the playable count. It actually looks like right now I'm ready to submit a deck. Ooh. But here's, let's see, Workshop is good with Metamorph, Legionnaire, Jite, Monolith, One Ring, Kappa, and Mere Battlesphere. So I have to take it over Shadow Spear. But I guess that is a happy circumstance. So what am I cutting here? I mean, or like Legionnaire is not amazing. Let's see. Here's Cryptic Coat. I guess I'll take it. I'll have to work on some cuts here. I'm cutting a lot of cards that doesn't have, you know, artifact written all over it. So Shorika is actually a nice artifact, so let's take that card. And now what? These cards I'm not going to play. Mutt is like poor man's Legionnaire, which is even, you know, not even a good card in my deck, so I wonder what's best, Jite or Legionnaire. Right now my deck seems kind of soft to creatures. Gonna be, maybe the Blade Splicer is not that interesting. Let's say I had something like, I don't know, a Skull Clamp or something to blink it. It would be a lot better. Let's see, right now I have 8 slots left. That puts me at 15 lands, so I still have to make a cut. And I don't think it's going to be cheap artifact. I think the cheap artifacts are exactly what I want with Kappa Cannoneer, Saga, and Urza. Okay. I think I actually like where this deck ended up. So now I can draft either Eagles for an extra Tundra or Scrubland. That's actually super decent. Or Lion Sash for sideboard shenanigans. Okay, I'll draft sideboard shenanigans. Pretty cool choice to have. Question is if I need all of these 4 counters. Maybe you can never get enough counters. Another blue talisman. Yeah, I guess these cards will not matter. It seems crazy to cut a card like Teferi or Mystic Confluence. But maybe I'm supposed to cut Teferi. Mystic Confluence, is that a better card than Teferi? I would guess so, because I'm not assured to control the board. But I mean, let's see. Let's put all the cheap artifacts over here that I'm for sure not touching. That one is double on color. Like Jite is on the chopping block. Card like Cryptic Code is on the chopping block. Teferi's on the chopping block. It doesn't feel good, but could be the world we live in. So now let's see. I think I have to cut one more card. Legionnaire. Use it as a sideboard card against creatures. How many creatures do I have now for Jite? Maybe Jite is just not reliable, actually. Maybe I do like this. So I'm kind of skewing my artifact count here. This is something that's worth mentioning, that because all of a sudden I prioritize synergy instead of standalone card quality. I'm making some, you know, just different choices. It's just something to think about. So 4 counters. Yeah, I'm not totally convinced, but I think I'm gonna build the deck like this, and I think I have enough black without playing Swamp, which is kind of cool. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's fine with between the Opal and the Star. So let's see, how much white do I have built in? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit more. So what if I go something like a couple of plains, no swamp? How much blue do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12, Could go to 11. What about 3 planes? 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not bad. That's not bad. Then my mana base is not ideal because I want white early for this Raven Inspector, but still think I should play it. This looks like a cool deck. Workshop, definitely high variance. I could actually see cutting a counterspell for an artifact if I have one. I could play Batterskull. Batterskull is a card that makes Workshop better. I actually want to play Batterskull instead of a counter. Wonder which one is better. Probably No More Lies is my worst one, and then I use that against unfair decks. So I have Graveyard Hate in Lion Sash. I have Anti-Creature with Jite. I have No More Lies for combo. I guess Clique also for combo, and then Teferi for, I don't know, Control Mirrors. Okay, I'm definitely curious how you guys would have built this deck, but yeah, this is going to be my final build, and I'll see you guys for round uno. All right, guys, quick message here. If you want to have access to my deck guides, my strategy articles, whether you want to pitch me a sweet deck to play on the channel, whether you want to look into coaching, or simply just want to say thank you for the content I put out, please check out my Patreon below and become a Baron today. Now, let's get back to the games. All right, round 1 of the Feeder League. I have a pretty good hand here with turn 2, the One Ring. I don't have mana to cast my Miscalculation turn 2, but I think that is acceptable. I hope I don't get my Workshop Wastelanded. That card is going to be not only the card that enables the One Ring, but also the card that, you know, hopefully powers out Batterskull, Kappa Cannoneer, etc. to close out this game. Also worth noting about the Batterskull inclusion is that it's a nice little life buffer in a world of the One Ring and aggressive decks. So, yeah, I just like that a lot. Let's see if my opponent has anything more. Other Spell Bomb. That is something that I can accept. Here comes the One Ring. Then let's manipulate our next draw. Do I want Tamiyo over a random card? I would guess so, yeah. Let's draw it right away because of random stuff, mainly, I don't know, Ancient Tomb, Hullbreacher shenanigans. Here's Talisman, totally fine. So now, at the very least, I have Tamiyo with Miscalculation. Oh my goodness, that card is awesome. I can't play it right now, though. So let's draw 2 cards. Now we go Tamiyo. I will play Concealed Courtyard, because this is the last turn. It's an untap source. Then hopefully I get to Miscalculation a 4-drop, play Urza, and go Am. Duelist of the Mind. I will miscalculate that card. Miscalculation. So now my opponent needs to bounce the Tamiyo unless they want me to flip it. Kappa Cannoneer is a card that closes quickly. Let's attack first, get the clue, which is like a mana source. So now I have to do some math. Let's see, if I play land, I play Urza, then I have clue. If I use the ring and give up on 3 cards, I can play Kappa Cannoneer. It is kind of a big price to pay, so maybe I delay the Urza. Is that good? Let's try and draw here. Flip the yo. So let's see. 6, 7, 8. Let's see, does that let me, if I tap Clue, Talisman, Land, Workshop, I hold up 2 mana to sacrifice the Clue in case I want to. But what if I go Land, Urza, then I have 1, 2, 5. Yeah, so I can choose between those 2. Interesting. I think I'm supposed to go Kappa Cannoneer. Let's see. Tap. And, oh, not like that. Like that. Kappa Cannoneer. 5/5, pass. I have a ton of lands in hand. The cool thing about Kappa Cannoneer is it's so hard to deal with for the opponent. They need something like Council's Judgment, Wrath. I think that is decent. Okay, my opponent's passing the turn here. Should I get Miscalculation back? I actually don't think that's a bad shout. Okay, let's try. If I invest some stuff, my opponent can actually bounce it, pay 4 mana, but that's not really going to be a good deal for the opponent, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can't even cast Urza. I can go a little bit, you know, Cryptic Coat type. Maybe I go like this. White, blue. Maybe I go Genesis Engine. Let's see. This is kind of my game to lose, right? So I want to get this right. Cryptic Coat. That seems kind of solid. Can I go Cryptic Coat, Shorikai, and hold up Miscalculation? Let's see. 1 floating. No, I can't. So maybe I just go like this. Shorikai. Resolves. Kappa grows. Play land. Wait, you have 1 mana here. That's an artifact mana, so I might as well just attack. My opponent can bounce at end of turn. I think that would be very acceptable. I think I'm just supposed to let my opponent come to me here. Yeah, my opponent is alright doing that. I think that's fine. Kappa Cannoneer goes to hand. I discard a Plains. Pass. Holding up the Miscalculation for, like, super dumb stuff on my opponent's side of the table. A Time Twister. That is interesting. I feel like I should miscalculate that one. Because if my opponent wants 7 new cards, I'm going to have the first go at it, right? Yes, that works. I draw into a pretty good hand. I mean, I have so many resources here. Let's see. So now I can go draw 4. Draw with Shorikai. This is kind of getting out of hand. I now drew Metamorph, so I can reset the 1 ring, which is not bad. I go to 9. Let's just plus that while we wait. Play that since I don't have Kappa Cannoneer. Guess I should have drawn first. Here's Tinker and Urza. Awesome cards all around. So let's see. I can play Saga. Then I go 1, 2, 3. Tinker away the 1 ring. Let's go for Kappa Cannoneer. Now I can clone the Kappa Cannoneer. Maybe I should Urza first, actually. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be good. So let's see. For Monolith. Urza. And now, yes, that grows, sure. Now I go Urza, blue, 3 mana. Metamorph on the Cannoneer. Present a solid solid board here, and then I can go Foundry, and I have Miscalgan Days, which aren't, they're not hard counters, but pretty good situation here. Okay, so my opponent is a Time Twister deck that concedes to a big board state. That is some info to get out of the matchup, right? It looks like a card like No More Lies is going to be cool, but maybe it's only cool if I can get into a situation like I just had where I'm ahead on mana. A card like Batterskull doesn't seem great. I'm fine swapping No More Lies in for a Batterskull in a matchup like this. Also pretty cool that Metamorph and Tinker with the Demonic Tutor. I have many ways to get rid of, the One Ring after having drawn a million cards. Okay, now we're kind of back down to earth here with, sure, I have turn 2 counter. But yeah, this is definitely a different beast. Days is a good one for later. It has to be an incredible card like Flash if I'm gonna Daze turn 1. Mindstone is definitely not what I'm dazing here, so let's go... Ooh, I didn't play well there. Actually, didn't think about this. So I was not supposed to fetch there. Draw Opal. I mean, my opponent is a Time Twister deck, so I'm just gonna play it. So now the game plan when you have a card like Mystic Confluence is basically you want to 1-for-1 leading up to that turn and then counter and draw 2 cards to pull away. It looks like I'm in decent spot to do that. That card is very good against my deck. I'm actually gonna No More Lies here. Plunderer is like a hate bear against artifacts. So strong. My opponent counters back with a 2 mana counter. I'm gonna Daze, so looks like my opponent either does not have it or thinks they can catch something better later. So I guess I run out the Monolith here. I think that's totally fine. It could go Metamorph, like something like a Mind Stone, but I don't think that's good. My opponent's passing again here. That smells of a 5 mana counter on my opponent's side of the table. Let's see. I play land, I play star, now my Opal's on, and now we kind of have a eye-staring contest, which is kind of funny. My days is not exactly getting better, I will note that. Let's say I had something cool to play. Question is, do I want to draw 3? Do I believe... Am I sniffing out a 5-drop? Am I sniffing out either Hardcast Force, Mystic Confluence, Spelljacker? Am I sniffing out one of those 3? And then I want to get mileage out of my days here by drawing 3 cards. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Let's see if I look silly. Draw 3. Please tap 5 mana. Yes! Okay, that is huge. Okay. Day Spelljacker. That was incredible. Draw 3. Not the best cards, but obviously fine. Okay. Well, I guess we have to do... Well, we don't have to do anything, but I think this is decent. I guess I go for white here. Draw? Okay, this is not ideal. Tinker, that is ideal. Talisman. Let's see, what am I tinkering for? Because I do have a Metamorph. Maybe, just maybe, I slow roll a Talisman because I want to go multiple, turtles. The multiple turtles better than multiple battle balls. Let's count the mana for next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is enough for Tinker, Counterspell, 8. Clone. Which one do I want 2 of next? 2 battle balls or 2 Kappa Cannoneers? It's just so good that they can't get targeted, or that it costs a fortune to do so. I don't know. It's actually quite close. Jace Prodigy, I accept. Also, I forgot that I could untap Grim Monolith, so I have even more mana. Grim Monolith untaps. No crazy stuff here from the opponent. Should probably tinker away the Monolith, to be honest. One-shot mana. Tinker, ready to counter. Here comes the Desperation Sack. Can't blame my opponent. I'm gonna go for Kappa Cannoneer, little trigger. So now let's see, Metamorph, land. Yeah, this works. What's better than one Kappa Cannoneer? Let's go for 2. Land. Talisman. It is actually possible I should have played Talisman out next turn. Ah! I don't think that was good. So I'm using my mana better, but I'm not, you know, the unblockable is not... I'm not getting any malice out of the unblockable. Opponent response here with Jace. Shuffling in Woodfall. That, okay, so I'm a talented Magic player. I draw another artifact. Let's crack that clue right away. Draw. Versus Saga into play. Take 15. And now my opponent needs to get an additional card in the yard and then flip Jace, Time Spiral, and kind of go from there. Let's see if that's possible. It is. Okay, so we have some kind of game here. That also means I will remove the auto yields because I might draw into counter magic. My opponent needs to deal with 2 lethal creatures. So I'm just so confused about last game. My opponent conceding to me making, making a big board, because if you play a combo deck, if you just brain freeze out your opponent, you don't care about how much power is in play. The opponent just conceded at a weird time. Also worth noting, I probably would have killed my opponent if I went for Battle Spheres, but obviously we can't know that. Here's the flashback. We all knew what was coming, and I hope to draw as many counters as possible. Let's go! This has to be the most clutch days in history, if that's supposed to be a difference maker. Opponent untapping 6 lands. Yeah, 1 days here. It's probably underperforming a little bit. So let's see. What if my opponent goes for some brain freeze shenanigans? What are we looking at? I'm not beating that, right? I don't have any random shuffler. So, yeah, pause the video. Do you think Days is going to be clutch? Let's see. I don't believe it. Let's see. Childred, the Apocalypse. Sure. Wow. Oh boy. I guess Days came in clutch. All right. Kappa Cannoneer got the job done, and the Days here. All right. We're 1-0. We have to continue the grind. See you guys for the next match. All right, round 2. I'm on the play, and I have a sweet hand that can hopefully do some damage. My opponent has revealed a Luris, so... yeah, I mean, the last time that happened, I got totally crushed in the 64, if you guys remember. Probably the best turn 1 I've ever seen. Yeah, that was not pleasant. So let's see, what do I do here? Looks like I'm going turn 1... let me just play this out. So Island, Star, next turn, develop Saga, go Legionnaire if nothing happens. There is a chance if I draw like Miscalculation or Days, I want to hold that up. So that would be the reason to go Island now instead of Courtyard. Because I want to go turn 2 Saga. Yeah, I think this is about right. This is pretty awesome because I can end up in a situation where I can even do it the other way around, well, and go turn 2 Courtyard, play Legionnaire, turn 3, develop Saga, then Tinker on that turn. It might even be better. I'm actually pretty hooked on doing that, so I go Legionnaire, next turn, tinker away the Star, while developing a Saga. Pretty powerful stuff. Your Swamp, don't hit me, bro. Smuggler's Copter is very acceptable. So now I have the good old choice between Kappa Cannoneer and Mere Battlesphere. So funny. I think I'm gonna go with the one that has not failed me yet. Let's see. I could draw one of them here, and then it's just, you know, gonna be easy. Tinker, Kappa Cannoneer. That card should be awesome against the Lurrus deck. Very, very hard to outclass. Here comes Legionnaire with the beats. Legionnaire is also helping my artifact count next turn. Okay, sure. So yeah, Snuff Out is a card that kills Mere Battlesphere on sight, leaves me with 4 tokens. Obviously also a decent situation, but let's see. Petal is a good one with Lurrus. Lingering Souls. True. I see. So the good thing is next turn I can develop some artifacts. As I said, if my opponent taps out here and they're not, you know, holding up counter magic, I can go Land Talisman, activate, get in for how much? 7 unblockable. And then my opponent is dead next turn. Inquisition, sure. Huh. Nice draw. Definitely a nice draw. So maybe I should just do that instead. So I go Talisman, Land, one more guy. And the Dynamic Duo does it again. Okay, so what is my opponent playing here? Black-White Lurrus is what we've seen. This land you would play in Black-White, this land you would play if you play Mardu, so. Yeah, let's keep drawing Tinker, shall we? Okay, so against that deck, Jite is awesome. What is not awesome against that deck? I mean, a card like Soul Guide Lantern even still disrupts Lurrus a little bit. There's some Talisman action you can consider removing. Maybe it's a card like Mystic Confluence, but then again, that's also kind of my... Well, I guess it's some of the counters. Maybe like Miscalculation. I'll try that. I'll add Umasa's Jite instead of a Miscalculation with the logic that I might have to deal with the board, so if I fall behind, Miscalc is bad. Daze is better because I can tap out. Counterspell is better because it's live all game. Other than that, I don't know. These cards look pretty solid. And the cool thing is I have a Demonic Tutor and a Tinker, so I just have, you know, double up on my ability to tinker, which is my way to beat that deck, I would assume. Also with my opponent showing Snuff Out, the Kappa Cannoneer definitely got better. Let's see. This is definitely a keep, but I have to think about how to play it. Looks like turn... Let's see what I draw. Everything could change with what I draw here. Yeah, I don't think I should turbo out Saga here and go like overboard. I think that would just be stupid. Let's see what the opponent has going on here. Oh, okay. My opponent is powering out another 3-drop here ahead of schedule, like last time. Maybe my opponent just missed a land drop last game. I'm actually not sure. Sculler. Yeah, the opponent's going to be very happy with that one because Demonic Tutor will go and fetch Tinker and be the end of my opponent. So now... Okay, another Glyph is also a cool one. I just draw Tinker like a G. Okay. So, with me drawing Tinker, does that change anything? I think it does. I want to Tinker Cannoneer next turn, so... Island... Talisman... Then next turn I can go, let's see, Saga, Talisman, Tinker. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do next turn. So my opponent needs to disrupt me once more. Also, my opponent should realize that since I did not develop the Saga, I drew something for next turn. Here's Thalia. Thalia's mildly annoying. I'm going to take 3 here. Thalia means I can't develop the Talisman, but then I have to play like this. So, Tinker, Kappa Cannoneer, pass, and now the opponent's going to be in a bit of trouble unless they have Sheldred's Edict. Okay, well, that is... What? No attack here. Yeah, Sheldred's Edict, very, very good card. I guess it's the only card the opponent could have, because they're a Lurrus deck, they can't have Liliana. So now I go Thraben. Now I can Saga some boys. And yeah, this is definitely not ideal. Sheldred's Edict was Chef's Kiss. So my opponent can now attack with Nethergoyf and Thalia. That's not bad. My opponent can put me to 13. I make a 2-2. I make a 3-3. They turn into 4-4s. And then we can kind of have a game like that. Let's see. Great card. Okay, my opponent's really, really doing a good job here. Let's see what the counter is put on. If the counter is put on Sculler, my opponent deals more damage right now. Five damage. Super annoying. I could double block the Thalia, but I don't think it's good. Kind of need my guys to grow. So, yeah. Let's crack. Get something that I can't remember. So, could go ahead and get Opal, play land, play Talisman. That'll be fine. Let's see. Retrofitter is also a way to put many artifacts into play. Maybe that's good. Let's see. How can I ramp to Mere Battlesphere? That's basically what I'm looking to do right now. So this is dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I draw 1 land... Yeah, I feel like I have to do that. So I take Opal, play land. Yeah, that was a bit annoying, but that's how it goes. Let's play Talisman, and I think I'm supposed to attack, even though it feels a bit iffy. I think I have to try and finish my opponent. If my opponent has to spend 3 mana to put Lures to hand and 3 mana to play it, that's a bit slow, so I think that's what I want to do. Ooh, Portable Hole is a good one. Now my opponent can put a counter on the Luminarch itself and get in for a ton of damage. How much is that? That is 9, putting me to 3. Yeah, I think I have to do it. I think I have to take it. Land? Do draw land, so now I go Battle Ball. I get a lot of blockers here, so I think I get in my 9 while I can. The question is if I get in my 10. think I'm just going to get in my 9 damage here. Pretty interesting spot now. I think my opponent could be in trouble. No snuff out end of turn. That's important. Here's something that I don't want to see. I hope it's disrupted by Thalia, but it's not. Okay. So now my opponent also has to respect me on defense. And this game could get a bit iffy. Let's see. Just attacking with that one. Maybe I just block with Thraben. I feel like the mirror tokens are better right now. Could be wrong. Let's see. So my opponent's at 4. They have to block here. Getting in for 2, is that useful? I would guess no. 8 or 9. I don't want to, you know, give up the Batter Skull, the information about the Batter Skull. So let's just attack, force my opponent to chump. That even makes my Battle Skull cheaper, so that's cool. Let's see, land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's an argument that I should sacrifice my clue first. Could be something cost 1 mana waiting for me here. Or maybe that's not even good. That the Nethergoyf can, you know, trade with my construct. I don't know. I'm just going to play Battle Skull here. Let's see. 5. Play Battle Skull. Pass. So now the thing about the skull is, if I equip onto, let's say, a mirror token, maybe that's good. I'm not even sure. Trying to close out my opponent here. But they're also trying to close me out. I'm at 3 life, right? We know they can't have Parallax Wave in the deck. They can have something else. What is this? Jackrabbit. Okay, sure. Now it looks like a good old standstill. Or a standoff, rather. Growing the rabbit, sure. Am I drawing end of turn? I feel like I'm spending 5 mana to equip onto my construct. I'm getting a ton of life back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could draw something. Okay, let's see. Grim Monolith. Workshop. Okay, so nothing exciting here. Let's see, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Equip onto the construct. Am I slow rolling the workshop? I don't think so. I want to hold up mana for Battle Skull to return it in case my opponent has some kind of disenchant. Get in there. Yeah, this game could get complicated. Mainly because, yeah, chum blocking with that one is interesting, but probably correct, who knows. So now if my opponent's desperate, they can go for something like attack with Jackrabbit, get chump blockers. I do gain a gazillion life. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I wonder how I break through in a game like this. Dark Confidant. I mean, that is a solid blocker. Opponent does not want to give me a million life. There. What can I draw? Land. Not the best. So Dark Confidant will block here. I'll gain 13. This is such a weird game. Dark Confidant did not block. Nethergoyf blocked. So now, I mean, please flip a snuff out. My opponent did not flip a snuff out. Plains revealed. Here's Plains. Voidwalker is a cool card that lets the opponent attack, then lures to hand, I bet. No? Mind Twist for 1. Yeah, you got my last card. It's funny, I can't remember what I can draw. I'm just going to take this as a as a surprise. So now my opponent ensures the chump blockers. And I draw the One Ring. I'm pretty sure that's an incredible draw. Let's draw from the ring. Attack. 14. I'm gonna gain a lot of life here. But my opponent might also get Luris going soon. What can we do? 3-1. I mean, that card doesn't do anything. So pass. So my opponent has Snuff Out in the deck. So there's a chance the game just ends on Earth. On Aspirant. Start pumping the Voidwalker. The funny thing is, I don't remember how I break through. I guess we should look. How do I break through? Shorikai? Cryptic Code is a good one. Okay, Cryptic Code is what I'm looking for. But other than that, I don't have a lot going on. Do I even have any removal for to get the DT back? I think Mystic Confluence in the sideboard. Is the Metamorph gone? The Metamorph is not gone, but I'm not even sure what that would do. Smuggler's Copter. Luris to hand. Oh, this game is funny. Here comes the Voidwalker. Nope. Okay, so I have a Plains. Yeah, okay, so my opponent is waiting for me to do something. Nice draw. Let's draw 2 cards. Soul Guide Lantern. Definitely a good draw. So now let's go Cryptic Coat. That card should do it, right? That card is amazing right now. That card. I can even return it and play it again and again. So let's play Lantern. I'm just ready to pop it. If my opponent plays Luris, then I'll respond and eat the yard. I guess I will get rid of Aspirant. So let's see. Return. Play it out. I have a Tameo under here, which is kind of cool. And a Metamorph here, which is funny. Not going to do anything. Now I'm going to gain 16 life. Does it make sense to attack with these now? Yeah, I mean, no. Let's see. My opponent can crew with whatever. Voidwalker, eat 1. Block with Sculler, eat another. But the others kind of have to get blocked. I'll try. Kind of annoying for the opponent here. After chump there. That is easy. The opponent did not crew. Maybe Confidant blocks 1 more? No? Okay. So I go to 71. This is this game is cool. This game is very cool. So now my opponent can die to Confidant. They don't. So I guess we play on. I don't think I've had this high of a life total in a long time. So now my opponent has to deal with this unblockable. If my opponent kills the equipment itself, I can return it. So it's starting to look a bit grim for the opponent here. Yes. The Copter has been crewed. The opponent's going to draw 1, discard 1. And there it goes. Okay. That was actually a pretty awesome match. I am sure I missed a ton of details. I'm a bit tired, to put it lightly, but I had a fun time, and I hope you guys do as well. That queues us up for a 3rd round. So currently I'm 2-0, and yeah, we try and keep it up. Alrighty. 2-0, and yeah, I mean, we're winning until we're not winning anymore. This hand is a keep. I can go turn 1 Thraben, turn 2 Talisman, Soul Guide. I mean, that's not bad. I need to draw a land in order to play the One Ring. Turn 3, if I do, I love my position. If I don't, hopefully it's a Tinker. Arid Mesa. Nothing. Don't draw the land. Talisman. I was about to say, there's some F6 value here. I'm gonna eat my opponent's Arid Mesa here with a Soul Guide. I mean, if my opponent plays any Goyfs, any Delve, any... Maybe this is relevant. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, we drew another 4-drop. It's not going to do anything unless we find the land. If we find the land, I love my position. I do find the land. Let's attack first in case our opponent has some kind of, I don't know, Containment Priest type card. We want them to play that and tap down from counter magic. I think I'm going to go One Ring here. The main argument is if I play Naked Shorikai, that can die to something like Disenchant effects. One Ring cannot die to Disenchant effects. Let's see, this has to deal damage, yeah. So I'm actually fading Malcolm for a turn. My opponent has to probe themselves because of the One Ring protection, so they don't know about the Kappa Cannoneer. Basically, I want to slam that card. Let's see. Yeah, I can play it off of these 6 while still activating Ring. It's quite absurd. A Dream Draw would be Workshop. That would be absolutely incredible. Let's see if my opponent checks the attack here. They don't. So let's just activate the Ring. No Workshop. I'm very unlucky. I mean, a card like Retrofitter is a free roll with Kappa Cannoneer. Let's see. So now I feel like I should go, let's see. Kappa, tap, 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 tap. So I go Kappa Cannoneer, resolves, fetch island, Tundra, I guess. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Look at this opening. It's just turn 3, the One Ring, uncontested, get to do my thing here. Play Kappa. My opponent doesn't even see that I'm following up with a Tamiyo here. Even just imagine, like, I attack with Tamiyo and Kappa at the same time, then the freaking clue token makes Kappa unblockable before my opponent gets a chance. So my opponent played Malcolm, which makes a card like G-Tape just better. But I'm not sure I have enough early creatures for that to be realistic. It doesn't even work with Tamiyo. Maybe I just submit the same. I think it's fine. I've been pretty lucky that I've dodged, you know, brokenness from the opponent, and I've been doing above average to broken things each game. Easy mulligan here. So what can we... This might even be one more mulligan, which is very bad. Mere Battlesphere is bad. Better Skull is bad. Opal is bad. Yeah, this is just a mulligan, unfortunately. This hand is a keep. It has a route to Tinker. So I guess, what if I get rid of land Cryptic Coat? Turn 1 Thraben. Turn 2 Talisman. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, this is very Glass Cannon, but I think that's just what this hand does. I'm not going to have Days Up this turn, but you know how I feel about turn 1 Days. It has to be like an absolute game winner. And now play Talisman. I'm gonna daze here to force this through. Daze my opponent's daze is even a like I'm setting myself back, but since I don't have my next land drop, this is good, right? So yeah, attack for 1. Next turn, I'm demonic tutoring a Tinker, and then I'm basically hoping for the best. Let's see what my opponent does in the meantime. Looks like not much. Let's cast demonic tutor. Maybe my opponent doesn't like that. They do like it, so they don't know about the Tinker, which is kind of good. I don't think I'm playing around the 2/2s. I think it's fine to attack. There's the dog, there's Containment Priest, and there's also that card that I didn't think about. Tidebinder eating my 1/2. Now in a position where I want to go tinker away the clue. Oh shoot. Because my opponent has a wizard. Ooh, this is awesome. Great play by the opponent. I'm gonna now try and build a turtle and clone it the following turn. Please don't kill my clue. Don't prismatic ending or portable hole my clue. That would be too strong. I hope my opponent is just playing around Tidebinder because they have it in their deck, so they're like, oh, we don't want me to go, you know, third land pass, counter. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Tinker away the clue for a Kappa Cannoneer. We've been here before. Let's see. Now the problem is it actually dies to, you know, plow path if my opponent has the 5th land. Spell bomb can deal with it next turn. That's not nothing. Wow. Workshop. Well, maybe Workshop is actually worse than I thought. Yeah, it's a bit worse. So I thought I could do both. Could have taken 2 damage there. Let's see if I regret it. I don't know. It's better, yeah. It's better against Leak. No More Lies. Remand. And Reprieve. No, yeah, not quite sure what the opponent was doing there. The opponent was... my opponent forgot about the Ward 4, threw away the Spell Bomb, then I make another Cannoneer. Attack for 1,000,000. I have 2 Cannoneers in play. And what do you know? We're ready for the finals here. 3-0 with artifacts. Let's see if we can finish the job, or we will be just short. All right, we're ready for the finals here of the first feeder league. Pretty excited about that. My deck is quite strong, and I've been drawing above average. What about this hand? I mean, it's obviously a keep, so how do we play it? Turn 1 star. And then I think I just get Saga going. So let's see. Maybe I go Plains, because then turn 2 I go Saga. Next turn, Plains. Then I can go get Opal, play Tundra. Yeah, so maybe this is a way to have Counterspell up on turn 4. Let's see. If I play the Tundra now, I'll have to use it to activate Saga down the road, and then I might not have enough blue. But let's see. That also means if my opponent goes like Channel now, I can't counterspell. So I basically valued the following turns more. Let's see. My opponent needs a good play here. Inti is a good play. Definitely would have countered that if I had the chance. Batter Skull. So I think now it's fine to play the Tundra out because I have the Delta. So play Tundra, pass the turn. If my opponent wants to attack, they have to commit to the discard. Otherwise, I can trade it off. I feel like this is exactly what the opponent's going to do. Yep, discarding probably an additional land. I'm not going to do anything about this in T. The opponent flips a counterspell, Normalize, so my opponent's on a very ambitious mana base. So I think the main question is, okay, my opponent did not do anything there. That's probably quite strong for me. My opponent might have removal. My opponent did not have removal. So now activate. Oh, here comes something. Okay, sure. I see. My opponent makes a copy of Ursa's Saga. I'm actually not sure what that means. Let's find out. So I can go Opal. Probably not bad. Then I can go Island. Attack for 4. So now what? My opponent Saga will now turn into what? Now it can provide mana? Okay, sure. So they're kind of going through the motions here with Saga. So hopefully my counterspell will have good. Oh, wow. Okay. That does change things a little bit. Okay, so my opponent has Thespian Stage online here. Is there any way I can clone my way out of that one? Omnath. Okay. Interesting. Should I block here? Maybe. Trade off the Inti. But how am I getting out of this? I don't know. Maybe I worry about that later. I need to draw Mystic Confluence, I guess. The One Ring, that is definitely a way. So I think what I should do here is attack first. If my opponent makes a token, I can copy the token. That should be fine, right? And if not, they take some damage. Okay. So let's quickly check our mana base. I have Undercity Sewers in my deck, so it is in my interest to go One Ring. Draw. Concealed Courtyard. Let's see what this is. My opponent's really playing with the food here if they decide to make it here in response. They don't. I have Mystic Confluence in my deck. Oh, my opponent does not make the token. Okay, they're okay. So my opponent is trying to outsmart me a little bit here, which is actually going quite well for them. I can draw some stuff here. Let's see. Legionnaire. I don't think that'll do anything. Or will it? Let's see. Let's see. If I attack, what does my opponent do? Probably take the damage once more. And then what do I do? Then I can play Metamorph, copy the One Ring after drawing cards. I think I can do better than this Legionnaire. But it was good to think about it at least. That is exactly the draw I wanted, so have 5 mana in play, might as well draw. Ace could be good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this might be a turn where I go tap land. Let's see. Maybe I go tap land, pass. My opponent's at 9. It looks like my opponent wants to go, you know, Ursa Saga shenanigans. My opponent's very, very patient this game. Okay. Okay, never mind. So my opponent is making the token here, which I'm gonna return and draw 2. And I'm gonna do it before my opponent has blue mana. So return target creature, draw 2 cards, stays back up. So now discard a card. That's just gonna be the plains. And all of a sudden, this looks great. Because I found the Mystic Confluence. Let's see. Expressive Iteration. I can stop most nasty things here with Daze, I will guess. But of course, we're playing in the finals, so my opponent could have anything from, you know, Black Lotus, Mox, Mana Crypt, stuff like that. So definitely a bit careful about rushed conclusions here. But funnily enough, my opponent found another land, but decides to play Archive from hand. That's generally a pretty, you know, sign of weakness, desperation, right? We have a lot of counter spells going on, so how do we ice this game? It's probably something with Urza, because Urza puts stuff into play and mana, so a little bit of everything here. Lose 2 from the ring. It's totally fine. I'm currently doing very well. Kappa Cannoneer, my best friend from this tournament, no doubt. So now I can go Urza. Then I go, I guess we tap like this. So we go, say, blue out of that one, play Lantern. I'll just exile the Thespian stage. That's totally fine. So now, guess I just attack. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. Attack for 6, put my opponent to 3, pass with Counterspell and Daze. I'll just discard an island. And my opponent needs a very, very good turn. I will say stuff like Brain Freeze, Underworld Breach, those kinds of cards are in the opponent's colors, so let's see about that. Balance is another card. So so now I've obviously won the game. Only question is which card I want to show my opponent, and I feel like it's better to show my opponent Counterspell than Daze. All right, so why did we win this game? I'm trying to think here. I think it's because I had my opponent kind of got lost in the sauce there with, you know, copying the Saga, but then not really doing anything with the Saga. Then first slow rolling the Dark Depths activation, and then going for it once I found the answer. So they gave me a little bit more time than I would like in that spot, ideally, but you know, that could obviously easily work out the next time. So I'm trying to think about what do I do against Married Lage in general. I can chain some One Rings. We saw that. I can bounce it. We saw that. I have a Demonic Tutor. I can get out of reach with Battleskull, but that's a bit iffy, I will say. Do I like my amount of counter spells, or do I want more? I think on the draw, I'm happy with the amount of counters I have. There's something to be said about Vendilion Click, though. Do I have any, you know, inconsequential card I can swap for Vendilion Click? Because that is like a free chump block. What about a card like Shorikai? It does look at a lot of cards, though. You can power it out with Workshop. Shorikai or Click? Not easy. I think I'm just going to submit my same deck here. All right, let's see if we can keep up the solid draws. This is definitely a good hand. This is a hand that can get dominated by you know, stuff like Merit Lage, but it's a hand that's very good, like pound for pound against normal games of Magic, I'll say. Let's see, what can I do? I can go... If I delay the Saga, I can play out Urza turn 3. It's probably quite strong. Speaking of quite strong, here comes Soul Ring, Counterspell. Pretty good draw. Might want to hold up a little bit of flexibility for that. I will say my opponent is a 4-color deck, so there is something to be said about, you know, basic land Soul Ring not being unbeatable. And, okay, Shredder. Okay. Shredder is fine. Here comes tap land. Battle Ball is not bad. So what happens if I go Island Pass? The next turn I would need to go land. Okay, so we kind of slow down here. Now I have Counterspell up. Next turn I'm gonna go Courtyard, play Talisman. Obviously not the best play, but you gotta do it sometimes. But I just act with Shredder. I'm not too worried about the Shredder. That's kind of the stuff I was talking about with Urza, like stuff we generally have, you know, have covered. I will counter that card, though, to free up my mana and counter a draw 2, basically. I was about to say my opponent played well here, waiting with the land drop, so I don't have that info. Grim Monolith, eh? Grim Monolith, so now I can go... I feel like I want to go Battle Ball next turn, so now I can go land, Talisman, Grim Monolith. Okay, I'll try. My opponent gets a loot off of Shredder here, but I'm bridging into Mere Battlesphere, which is a big boy, so let's see. Opponent discards Guide of Souls, makes a lot of sense. My opponent's really all over the place here. Looks like my opponent's playing the good old 5-color Guide of Souls Ledger Shredder deck. We can lose to that. My opponent now has a 2/4. Let's see what this is. Crop Rotation. If my opponent's putting together the combo here, I could be in trouble. I could be in trouble. Crop rotating into... Maybe my opponent has something like Crucible or Ramonap? Yeah, okay. My opponent even gets to dig deeper here with Shredder. Pretty cool. I can't remember if my opponent played a land this turn. Assume my opponent just plays... Yep, Ravine is back. Okay, so now I'm gonna go Battle Ball and then no attack. And I draw Tinker. Holy crap. 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. 1, 2, 3. So now I can go Urza. No, yes. Can I do it the other way around? Can I go... Really want the Kappa Cannoneer. If I go Urza first, hold up Grim Monolith, get the token, play Saga, tap this for blue. That doesn't help at all. It still doesn't untap. Okay. I wanna get into a situation where I have Kappa Cannoneer, and the next turn I can go Mere Battle Ball, but maybe that just doesn't work. Let's see. What happens if I go Urza, get a token, play that one, it's 5 mana. Play that one. I think this works, so... let's see. So I should play Saga out first. There's something about my Urza dying to Dismember or something that's going to be annoying. Play Urza. Blue. That one. blue. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. My opponent showed days the last game. Okay. That changes things a little bit. Am I supposed to go Kappa Cannoneer and then... Yeah. Okay, so blue without taking damage. That one. Tinker away Grim. Sure, my opponent gets a loot. Spell Pierce doesn't work, so I am gonna get this card unless I get forced. My opponent's thinking a lot there, but I'm not sure what I should think about that. Kappa Cannoneer. Still think I'm playing Cryptic Coat here. Could get dazed. That's just how it goes. Now I have a lot of damage on the field. My opponent kind of has to go broken here. Okay, that turned into quite the turn. Now let's see. I don't know what cards are crushing me here. I'm thinking about cards like Fiery Confluence, Pest Infestation. Omnath is a good one. Omnath with Fetch Land in the yard. Definitely a great card. I have a lot of unblockable damage here, though. A bit worried here. My opponent goes for the mana. So now my opponent has 6 mana to work with. I mean, both decks kind of firing on all cylinders here, depending on what my opponent does here, of course. Into another loot. So I think the most important part is what my opponent follows up with here. 6. So now my opponent can play permanents out of the yard. My opponent has a land in hand, they can go Guide of Souls, but they don't. Okay. So right now, my opponent does not have any awesome permanents out there. Oh, crap. Okay. I feel like my opponent should have gone Guide of Souls there. Now I'm at 15. Opponent's at 23. I draw land. So now I could go Mere Battle Ball, which is probably what I'm gonna do. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tap the equipment. 7. Mere Battle Ball. That's 5 artifacts. And a lot of tokens. Lots of unblockable here. So now I can go attack with Cannoneer. 9/9 Construct also seems pretty nice to attack with. It's like a must block. And then my opponent needs to find something incredible next turn. Let's see. 3, 14. Actually, I have 23 here, so I'm forcing a block. Yep, let's go. Next turn, I can make a big token, search up an artifact. What can I find? I can find... I mean, Retrofitter would be quite awesome as well, right? Chum block here from Inti makes sense. My opponent's at 9, but I'm hitting in so big increments here that my opponent needs an answer for Kappa Cannoneer, I feel like. I think I'm doing fine between all the Mir tokens. Okay, wow, there's the concession. So we didn't drop a game. We simply just steamrolled everybody. Super happy about that one. That really came together nicely. Right now, I can't remember at what point in the draft I was kind of hedging. I think I picked the Mere Battle Ball and I was like, oh yeah, Tinkara Workshop might come up and then it might be it. Like, that's pretty cool when that comes to fruition. And I just steamrolled everybody. kept drawing well, kept dodging. Also, I dodged Disaster a lot. I didn't get flashed. I didn't get channeled. I didn't get, turned to Atraxa, whatever. And my deck just kept coming up with the goods, and good old Kappa Cannoneer, the MVP. All right, that'll mark my first 64 token of this last week of play. So it's both sad, but also it's been an awesome ride, and I get to, have just at least one more ride. And you guys were here for the whole thing. I mean, pretty cool stuff. I hope to play a few more. Thanks so much for watching as always. Wow, 8-0. That was awesome. That was sweet. What a nice artifact deck. I hope you guys had a good time, and I'll see you back on the channel before you know it.